The Wyatt Army marches on. For decades in the uniform, he held the line so tight, defending freedom everywhere from morning into night. From Europe down to Africa, the Middle East and home, the colonel hung his boots up, thought he'd rest his weary bones. He looked upon the world today, the chaos and the noise, and saw the messy circus of the digital decoys. He couldn't sit in silence, no, he couldn't look away. He waited in the battle, ready for a brand new day. They tried to shut the signal down, the shadow and the band, but you cannot stop the spirit of a mission-driven man. Folks took notice of the voice, the clarity, the spark, and gathered round the fire. He lit inside the dark, and the Wyatt Army marches on. The signal is steady, the confusion is gone. We don't need the fancies from the leftist side. We've got the colonel and the truth as our guide. Yeah, the Wyatt Army marches on until the fake news twilight turns to dawn. We see the objective, we know where we belong. The Wyatt Army marches on. From the loyal subscribers to the trolls beneath the bridge, to the hate wankers hiding on the digital ridge. It matters not who's listening, the evil or the kind, because the colonel's got the drive to open up the mind. Legacy media serving up the lens of lies and fake, but we shatter all the mirrors for the future's sake. Energy and enthusiasm breaking through the screen, the sharpest moral clarity the world has ever seen. They tried to shut the signal down, the shadow and the band, but you cannot stop the spirit of a mission-driven man. We see the objective, yeah, we see it crystal clear. The army is assembled and the victory is here. And the Wyatt Army marches on. The signal is steady, the confusion is gone. We don't need the fantasies from the leftist side. We've got the colonel and the truth as our guide. Yeah, the Wyatt Army marches on until the fake news twilight turns to dawn. We see the objective, we know where we belong. The Wyatt Army marches on. The Wyatt Army marches on. He served the flag with honor, he served it well. Now he serves the truth, saving us from hell. No stymie to his pace, no slowing of the stride, with the Wyatt Army marching right by his side. Truth will triumph.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the program. This is Night Owls. Chris at 22:20 in the evening. That's a minute behind the Chinese clock. Welcome back. Lots of crap happening around the world. Surprise, surprise. Let's go ahead and get to it and check on a little sound check here. Let's go ahead and get to it. That sounds brilliant. All right, it's just 10 days to Christmas, celebrating the birth of the Christ child, December 25th, which coincides with my birth date anniversary. Welcome to the program. I say hello to everybody in the chat at this early morning hour for South Africans, and for those of us over here on this side of the Atlantic, it's still nighttime. Work people, Christoph Seal, welcome to you. Jean Spence, Dirk Kutsia, Karen Graham, Keith Alderson, Kathy Price, Claudia Pola, Tyrone Rekus, James Duvall, Mandy Van Rooyen, Jackie Chan, Kane. I want to say Chan all the time. Hendo is here. Good to see Hendo. I think I saw Arctic earlier too, or was that in the previous broadcast? There's Arctic. Lucy, Ulrich Fenter, Miki van der Merwe, Laurence Duplessis, Multipass, Lelu Dallas, Multipass. And we've got Rudolf Skeppers and Julie Haystack, Rena Watt, Denise Bellingham, Irony Browns, Relinda Engelbrecht, MCM SA, Vanessa Moller, Paul Stapleberg, who had a birthday, Jacobus Olaf, and Andrew Noel. You have a lot of stamina to keep up with all these online sessions. Well, you haven't seen nothing yet. Watch me do a 10-hour live stream. Done it before. All right, but yeah, thank you for the compliment. So, oh my goodness. Breaking news. So we covered the press conference from the New South Wales Police a short while ago, and their feed was atrocious. The New South Wales feed was useless. It just kept spinning out. They don't even have enough bandwidth. I guess they're using a mobile phone. I don't know. Had to switch to Fox News to get the feed. So anyway, yes, it is Geloof de Dag in South Africa. It is the Day of the Vow for South Africans, also now called Reconciliation Day by the government, but for Connors, it is the Day of the Vow. Yep, and on the Day of the Vow, we'll be talking about the globalization of the Intifada programming announcement. For later in the day, it will be Byron Shepherd and myself, Bondi Beach, the globalization of the Intifada. Is the Wyatt Army song your Spotify account? It should be soon, work people. Thank you for your membership. It should be soon. I upload it. So let me just run through the list of things that I've uploaded recently. I haven't done all the songs, but last night I added 3 or 4 more. Let me just go distro. Okay, there we go. Let me see. Come on. Faster. What's taking so long? There we go. ANC has foot and mouth trouble. The Wyatt Army marches on. The Lying Dutchman, Working Without Compensation, and Desperate in the Donbass. Those are the 5 most recent songs I've put on there. Yep. So it should appear on my Spotify, but I don't think it's there yet. Let me look. Spotify, DJ Silver Eagle for artists. Let's see if it's there, okay? Oh, come on. Ugh, I'm logged out on this thing. Hang on a second. I gotta go check my mail for a code. There it is. It was quick. Quick. Okay. Okay, I'm in. Took a moment there. Well, the Working Without Compensation is there. I can see it. They've changed the format here. So only 66 listeners the last 7 days. Let me see. So Working Without Compensation, Desperate Donbass. But the 3 from last night haven't arrived yet. So, yep. But Spotify is not the major site for my stuff, guys. I think it's doing the best is YouTube Topic. Let me see how that's doing. Come on, and I got some stuff I want to get to here. DJ Silver Eagle. DJ Silver Eagle Topic. There we go. There are 80 videos on there, and it's got doesn't tell me how many views. Let me see if this will tell me. Doesn't do it. Let me try this. No results. I guess you can't search for topics. Let me see. Let me try it this way. That's not what I want. Oh boy. Let me try this. Copy. See if that works. No results. Okay, well, I can't check on the number of views. It doesn't let me see that because I don't know the channel, even though it's my stuff. Oh, the Wyatt Army March is on YouTube. It's on YouTube. Yeah, here, I'll show you real quick. So it's on the DJ Silver Eagle at the topic. So if you look that up, So it's not on Spotify yet, but it is on DJ Silver Eagle Topic. There you go. DJ Silver Eagle Topic, 286 subscribers, 80 videos. Here's ANC Foot and Mouth. There's a Lying Dutchman and the Wyatt Army Marches On. So that's the one. Yep, look at that. Just like that. It's on there. Now, they play those ads and I get money from it.
The Wyatt Army marches on.
There you go. See, so it's there. So you go to DJ Silver Eagle Topic. Here's a link for it if you're not a subscriber already and want to become a subscriber to that. Now, that's not my channel, but that's as an artist, that's my channel that YouTube automatically puts up there. So I get ads and I get revenue from that. So if you want to, that gets me revenue much quicker and much more money than Spotify. So you can catch there's 80 videos up there, but I put up more than 80. Feeling our invisible friend will not be helping us out of this. We had better help ourselves. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Macedonia. Okay. My twin laptop arrived, swapped drives and RAM after quick boot BIOS. My new laptop booted up. All the data work was back in front of me, just as I saw it before. My motherboard died. I didn't know your motherboard died. Blew up. I think I might have a problem with a USB connection on the outside of my computer. That might have been why I had trouble. But anyway. My phone, my SIM card arrived. Both of them came. The one that didn't show up before and then the one that showed up. So the phone is locked because I got it from T-Mobile, even though I paid it off a few years ago. So it was not unlocked earlier. So I have to look and see if it's unlocked now. So it's one of these Chinese phones, OnePlus. Yeah. Anyway, see if it turns on now. It's taking a long time to come on here. What's going on? What a struggle to find live. Oh, Jules, sorry about that. It's been posted for hours, so they're hiding it if you can't find it. All you have to do is go to the channel and look for the live button. Okay, there it goes. I was like, is it locked up or what? It's taking forever. Anyway, yeah, so I do have plenty of news to talk about tonight here, folks. Let me just get to some of this news. We got, how many people with us now? 129? Okay, first off, as I said, hang on a second. Let me get this here. Okay, I'm in. Now let me see. Oh, network lock. Okay, device. Remotely unlocked if eligible. Please use unlock application to unlock the device. Okay, so let's see if this unlocks it. I told it to unlock before, but the damn thing kept coming back to the same thing, authenticating. Come on. And it just comes back, authenticates, and then it... Oh, I'm in this time. Okay. I don't want to personalize an account. Oh, man, it's bringing me all kinds of freaking message updates. I don't want all these updates. I want to... Okay, I want to change my PIN. Dave Reckon says, smile, wave, and pretend everything's fine for 24 hours. Mrs. really likes the new music. Okay. 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 It's not... I don't know how I found this before, but I think I had to go somewhere else. Account activity, payment methods, device payment plans. So, maybe it's here. Okay, security, device settings, notifications, help. Device settings, caller ID, device name. No, that's not it. See, this is profile. Okay, billing address, first responder verification, military verification. Nope. I think I found it online. Anyway, I'll figure it out later on. See if it's unlocked. It said up to 72 hours to unlock it, so I'm going to keep you guys waiting here. Yeah, the Lying Dutchman. Last she did not understand. Oh, yeah. So you went to the video to watch it. Yep, cool. Yeah, the song doesn't really have any meaning out of context. So we've warned people about the hazard to witnesses in South Africa. They're trying to kill witnesses, and they're getting away with it. the government's not protecting. But a big breaking story today in South Africa at Wynberg Magistrates Court, where a apparent hit on a witness was foiled by law enforcement. That's new. So, planned gang hit on court witness thwarted outside the Wynberg Magistrates Court. Of course, this is probably because it's a gang witness and it's not freaking, highly connected political officials who are much more apparently successful at this. Police in the city of Cape Town law enforcement say they have foiled an alleged gang hit outside the Wynberg Magistrates Court. Acting on intelligence, officers stopped a suspicious quantum near the court and arrested 7 suspects. Authorities believe the suspects allegedly have links to known gangs who were planning to kill a witness due to appear in court. Wow. According to MMC for Safety and Security J.P. Smith, authorities received information about a suspicious Toyota Quantum traveling to Wynberg on Monday whose occupants intended to shoot a witness due to appear in court. The members approached the Quantum using their tactical training and instructed the occupants to exit the vehicle. They were searched and found to be in possession of 3 prohibited firearms, ammunition, dangerous weapons, cell phones, and narcotics. What are dangerous weapons if you already had firearms? Preliminary investigations indicate that these suspects have links to known gangs and may be connected to previous shootings. So there you go. There's 3 firearms that they snatched from them. A lot of rounds, too. And a knife. Maybe that's a dangerous weapon they're talking about. You can see there on the receiver where they scratched the serial number off. Look at that, where it's all shiny. Just last week, court proceedings were abruptly halted after a bomb threat led to the evacuation of the building. The court has been the scene of previous deadly violence. In August, 3 men were convicted of the murder of Christine Gumara, who was shot dead outside the court on the day she was due to enter the witness protection program. Mandisi Mofu was convicted of her murder, attempted murder, and illegal possession of a firearm. He co-accused Lukanya Mem and Vuminkosi Vumani were convicted as accomplices in the killing. Wow. Jules S.A. said, watch the video by a woman earlier saying refugees are being put in bad areas and have no help. I said I'd check with the colonel and when I looked for her vid. It's now private. A leftist kind. Well, Jules, I do have some concerns about the location of people based on things I'm receiving. Also, it's fascinating to me that I'm hearing from people who I asked to hear from, and I only hear from them now when they want help. Hey, Pikachu, what's up? Let me take a look and see if I got a response. I had internet people here working on my internet for hours earlier, and so I'm behind on some of this stuff. Okay. Hang on a second. Okay, that was a mess I never finished earlier. Okay, people in Richmond, Virginia looking for some help. I've tried to help them. Arrived in the U.S. We came over for oil information for us. Our case is different. It's not exactly what we qualify for. We received lump sum money when we arrived. Anything or service. Okay. Well, wow. Okay. They said we need to sign a lease quickly. I won't be able to assist in getting apartments. Okay. Okay. I just want to check on something. I'm getting some contacts from folks out in California. So, sorry, folks. I'm doing refugee business while we're doing a live stream, but it's urgent. So, let me put this in there. There are some people I have concerns about. Let me see where these people live. Okay. All right. Well, they're looking at a particularly bad area. Okay. Lots of food joints near them. There's a mall right down the street. Okay. Okay. Well, that's actually not a bad part of town where they're at. Not a great, but not a bad part of town. I know that. I've been there. Not on that street, but I've been there. Huh. Let me take a look. Yep, I know that place. I like this. You can jump forward now. Couldn't used to do that before. Okay. Huh. Okay. Sorry, folks. It was important for me to check on that. So, yeah. They put you in a not so ideal place. Yeah, no, Booker, I think that's the bottom line here. I mean, I'm sorry to tell people that, but I think that's the case. Some people are going to have to bite the bullet. Understand that you may wind up in places that are not particularly nice because stuff's expensive and there's only so much money. That doesn't make it better, but that's the reality. Dirk Kurtz is spot on. Don't think any of the refugee agencies in the U.S. want or can afford bad publicity. If Colonel have to get involved, it won't end well for them. Yeah, no, I think so. The agency. So I called Richmond, Virginia today. I called Ann Arbor, Michigan today, and I called California today. I researched San Jose, California benefits and locations and shopping and bus passes, things like that. We have refugees. We're told by the Refugee Assistance Office in California that there's no discounted tickets, but that's an utter lie. It only took me a few minutes to go and find a whole bunch of things. 50% for low-income people. So if you're 200% below the poverty line, which a refugee would be because you have no income, zero is definitely 200% below, then you qualify for 50% off for a bus pass. So they were told there's no such thing. It took all of 5 minutes for me sitting here in Pennsylvania to discover that out there in California. Now, I'm not blaming the refugees. They're new to the country. They don't know what they're looking for. But how are these people being paid to be refugee assistants? And I'm going to have to do an expose on that. But I'm a little apprehensive about doing it because it'll be latched onto by the leftist hate wankers and used to say that the program is broken, that it's just as bad as they said it was going to be. So I'm not trying to hide the truth, but I don't want it to be blown out of proportion. I had to start over so many times, but for those who have not, they're probably scared, but get over it if you want to make it work there. Yeah. You can't say much, but was the effectiveness of the agency U.S. the program? What was this? I know you can't say much, but was the effectiveness of the agency of the U.S. and the program in which was No, that was not. No, the nature of my conversation with U.S. officials had much more to do with policy towards South Africa. KY Maritime guy, Vol with VOA, they do the same to us. I have no idea what iVolve. You're involved with the Voice of America? Is that what you're saying? Voice of America is dead. Go to their website. It hasn't changed since 15 March. Been informed that stages are international level nervous, but yeah, take the bull by the horns. Okay. I have no idea what Xavier's talking about. Yeah, so today, Ann Arbor, Michigan, Richmond, Virginia, San Jose, California, intervening for, and now I've got some from Wichita, Kansas, writing to me asking information. People were being made to pay rent and have no income. Also placed in areas where they are drug dealers and mostly black residents, blaming Trump because of SNAP. Well, I'm real sorry if their feelings are hurt with their black residents. I mean, what, so you can't live where black people are? What, are you telling us you're racist? Not you, Jules. That's too bad. I lived in black neighborhoods, 300 or 400 families, only 3 were white. Drug dealers, yeah, I hear the drug dealing story all the time, and I've looked at neighborhoods most people are, and most of those stories have been exaggerated. I know one story was genuinely true. Why is Albany's first reaction tighter gun control? Because he's a moron. He's a moron. Just a thought. Don't bitch as you're getting this spot someone else would die to get. Exactly. Balka, that's a good point there. I mean, if you don't like it, I mean, it's, I'm sorry, but it's, no one promised you a rose garden. So, I mean, this bitching and moaning on social media is not helpful. It just arms. So what you do by going and bitching and moaning on social media is you weaponize the leftists who use this against people to convince them not to go. And then they wind up getting killed in South Africa or starving because they can't get jobs. Yeah. Yeah. No, my visit was not about the refugee program to D.C. It was not about that. It was mentioned, but that wasn't why I went there. So the Wynberg Magistrates Court. South Africa is in solidarity with the Bondi Beach survivors. They're in solidarity with Australia. South Africa in solidarity with Australia after Bondi Beach mass shooting. Department of International Relations and Cooperation has denounced the mass shooting at Bondi Beach in Sydney during a Hanukkah celebration. We condemn the senseless violence which appears to have targeted the Jewish faithful when they were lighting candles for Hanukkah at Bondi Beach, says Durko spokesperson Chris Wyatt. If only the guy who came out earlier actually is Chris Wyatt, but I don't receive an email, so... Anyway, so this is the response from the South African government, and I will read it to you. Issued yesterday, and it has zero credibility. South Africa extends condolences to Australia following Sydney attacks. The government of the Republic of South Africa extends its deepest condolences and heartfelt sympathy to the people of government of the Commonwealth of Australia following the tragic terrorist attacks in Sydney. Our thoughts are all with those affected, especially the families and friends of the victims. We condemn this senseless violence which appears to have targeted the Jewish faithful while they were lighting candles for Hanukkah at Bondi Beach. There's no justification for terrorism or attacks on any group based on faith or identity. South Africa stands in solidarity with Australia during this period of mourning and grief. Inquiries, Mr. Chris Wyatt, ministry spokesman, issued by the Ministry of International Relations and Cooperation. Of course, the problem with that is it's all bullshit. It's balderdash, it's poppycock. This is the same government that congratulated Hamas on the murder of 1,200 people in a terrorist attack of October 7th, 2023. This is the same government that when Israel had a restrained response and waited a few weeks before they even responded to this, and then finally went to take out the terror operators, then they went to the ICJ and fraudulently claimed that Israel is engaged in a genocide against the Arab people, which is factually untrue. This is the same country that pals around with Tehran, and Lady Pandor goes there and congratulates them and congratulates Hamas, and South Africa welcomed Hamas terrorists to its shores officially as a government after the October 7th. Durko trying to say that they are against people being attacked for religion is utter bullshit. The Israelis are attacked for their religion, and the irony is that Israelis are Christians, Muslims, Druze, and Jews. Yes, but of course, all that they see are Jews, and they hate Jews. We see it in the eyes of Lady Pandor. We see it from the Ministry of Foreign Relations. We see it in the actions of the government of South Africa. We see it in the actions and comments from people like Julius Malema and others in the government. Didn't expect that from Durko. The cancer apparently got told no by Iran Hamas for more handout checks. No, they had a brief moment of clarity and realized that their stupidity isn't working. That's what that is. You're right. The more they screw up like this, the more reasons you have. I mean, if I was a Jew in South Africa and I was interested in this program and I had a thing and I was ready to go interview, and they said, do you have a fear of persecution? And I'd be like, did you watch what happened at Bondi Beach? Have you seen the allegations against Give to the Givers? Have you seen what Naledi Pandor did congratulating the murder of Christians, Muslims, Jews? Do I have a legitimate fear of future persecution? Are you serious? In this country, where people call for the murder of people based on their skin color and they get away with it, the government protects that, saying it's free speech. But if you use a word that means unbeliever in Arabic, you go to prison as a felon for calling someone that? I mean, do I have a fear of persecution in South Africa? You damn skippy, I do. That would be my answer. We have to buy the passes as an organization. I have no idea what you mean by bypass as an organization. That is not the case in California, KY. Are you in California? I went to it. Let me go look and see. So hang on a second. I've never heard of such a thing. You have to them as an organization. Hang on a second here. My sent messages. Come on, where are you at there? Sent. There it is. Okay. Okay, all right. So how do you apply? You apply online, in person, get the discounts. So put that over here. I just found this link. This is in California. There you go. Clipper, start, system upgrade, update in progress. Of course. Thank you for patience. 50% off Bay Area Transit. Yep. Income-based program. So if you have one person household, you can make up $31,000. You have to be between 1964, meet the gross income before taxes. None of the refugees have this kind of money, I'm guessing. Okay? You apply, fill out online application, upload proof of identity, proof of income. Once the application is started, you'll receive a personalized clip card. So apply now. There you go. All right, first name, last name, phone number, okay? And they'll send you a login code. And there you go. Mailing address, okay? All right, there you go. So you can get it individually. Davy Street, I really don't need that. That's not helpful. take away the ability of citizens to defend yourself, then this is what happens. Yep. Canada issued a stern warning to South Africa travel advisor. Yep. Being a Jew, a Christian is tough. Masonic Jew, heard some are very worried in South Africa. Yeah, Jules, I'm aware that some are very worried in South Africa. What else? Whoops, I hit the wrong button. I opened up Opera. Quit Opera. Okay. Thank you very much, Financial Colonel. Apply, keep it simple. Get your point across in the first 30 seconds. If you're done talking. Yeah. Well, bottom line there, folks, is that I'm not buying what's happening with these refugee assistance agents. Some of them are not very helpful, and I don't understand why they get paid. There needs to be more scrutiny over the services delivered to refugees. There ought to be somebody going around and checking with refugee families periodically to see what did you get, when did you get it, through the process of them arriving. Because it appears to me that a lot of these refugee assistance agencies aren't doing the job they're being paid to do. Now, I'll admit that perhaps I don't have all the information. I'm not fully informed. I'll accept that. But there are too many things that I'm discovering here from people across the country, in Virginia, in Austin, Texas, in Ann Arbor, Michigan. I understand there's also a problem in Rochester, New York, which I haven't been filled on. These people haven't written me yet. People told me they went to Rochester, New York, but nobody in Rochester, New York has contacted me and said they got a problem. I see nothing here. Yeah. Yep. So, just looking to see more. Well, so Yanni wrote to me and said, I was told I'd be interviewing P. I just got an email telling me I'd go into Johannesburg. We simply cannot afford travel up and down Joburg. This is RC. Does this mean I have to travel again, Joburg? Yeah, probably. He told me that he was going to have his interview in P. And I said, no, I doubt that. And unfortunately, it looks like I'm correct. Oh, guys. Okay, so they'll now be landing, so I can announce this. Would you like to know, I have a source that indicates that tonight my time, last evening for South Africans, which meant they left about 8 p.m., probably 8:30 from Joburg, 40 additional South African refugees were on the flight to the U.S. 40. Yep, from Joburg. Yep, 40. Now, I don't know if that flight was going to Cape Town picking up more, but 40 from Joburg. See, they made an Animal Farm movie and made it woke. Commies are good and the capitalists are bad. The commies are the ones that are bad. No, I haven't seen that. The $2,000 they asked for it. The Kentucky Fried Chicken goes directly to gifted givers. Huh. Well, Krista, he confirmed what I suspected. He checked the wiring throughout my house. He checked the cabling box. He checked the connections outside to replace the connections. He went through everything, and the problem appears to be the drop, which is the cable box. It's not in my house. It's out on the street, in a public area, where other people's connections are up. And that's what I said all along. It's either something got in there, it's wet, or it's not connected properly, or it's pinched or something like that. And I've been saying that. So I said, so how does it work sometimes? He says, well, with the router that you have, it's probably working, but it's constantly pushing and trying to push data, and their electronics wear down over time, something like. Anyway, bottom line is he gave me I'm on a brand new router tonight, I'm still hooked in by Wi-Fi, but still on a brand new router tonight, and they're supposed to send a technician out tomorrow to work on the drop, and hopefully they'll fix it. So what that means is that, like I said all along, it's not my LAN card, it's not my PC, it's not my LAN cable, it's not the router in the house, it's not the cabling in the house. None of that was the problem. The problem is outside the house, not on my building, because there's a cable box on the side of my house, but out in the street. So, yep. 40, yep, I suspect 100,000 more South Africans going to call home. Yeah, yep, 40 more. Hendo, good night, Hendo. Sleep well. If in Kenya, that contact me extremely friendly and professional. Yep. Why are they more deserving than others for refugee status? Not trying to pull chains from our opinion that we shouldn't accept any. Why is who more deserving? Who? Please explain to me who you're talking about. South Africans, they're not more deserving than anybody else. They're not. They're not. But the Trump administration is starting this program, and they're preventing fraud in it. Wholesale, pervasive fraud that other administrations have inflicted upon us for years. Yep. So is that what you're talking about? Kentucky maritime guy? I don't understand the question. I assume that's what the question was. You're going to have to give me more feedback on that. So anything more from your new friend? Charles, you keep asking who my new friend is. I don't know what you're talking about. It's sarcasm or somebody that's being an ass, or I don't know. I don't know what that's all about. I'm a little lost on that one. So anyway, yeah. So how are we doing here? Videos. On the 15th, I got one video out. The Bondi Beach thing did not do very well. 15,000 views. I was surprised. I thought it'd be a lot more. Got 8 subscribers from it, but I thought we got more. Mad Max has got something coming up here, and a citizen. Let's see what that is. Thank you for 35 Rand. Breakthrough in case of missing Louis Trichart man. 24-year-old suspect is arrested after a body believed that of 22-year-old missing Ruben Marsberg was found in Louis Trichart. Huh. Police arrest a 24-year-old man believed to be linked to the disappearance of the killing of 22-year-old Ruben Marsberg. Been missing since November 27th. Last seen on a farm where several valuable items were also stolen. So another farm murder. Body wrapped in a blanket was covered in the bushes. Discovered in the bushes. Advanced state decomposition. Jesus. My goodness. Guys, I don't know what you're talking about Starlink. I mean, Starlink doesn't work. It's too slow. Lady, I look for Emily Schrader. She hasn't responded. I'm a little disappointed in that. I mean, why would you offer to, 90% full? Stop it. Why would you offer and then just never respond? It's just rude. Huh. Anyway. What are you going to do, right? What are you going to do? Here's another one. I got a bill telling me I have to pay my insurance. I already paid it. Make a secure payment. I paid for the entire year. Tell me I have to pay for my insurance. I already paid it. I think it's just a standard thing they send out. But I'm like, I already paid this, man. Unbelievable. Oh my goodness. No, I haven't heard about that farm tack, Philip Duplessis. Won't say where I work, but a lot of people are returning Starlink hardware. Huh. Everybody criticized President Trump for proposing birthright citizenship. I didn't. New white paper, Southern now proposes same thing. Exactly. That's what I said last night. The Southern government is criticizing Trump for his position on immigration and refugees, and they're doing the exact same thing. One link with all the info to prep for the interview. Sorry to ask, don't want to be a nuisance, but there's so many links. I don't know what you're talking about. What prep for the interview? There's no link. Hendo made a draft list that I edited. It's mostly his work. Insurance. Okay, that doesn't make any sense, Kentucky maritime guy. I asked for what you were talking about why they're more deserving. And then the next comment you have is insurance. I don't get that. That's not answering my question. Musk says we desperately need more people on the planet as we're being decimated. You want people who align with your values. Well, I don't know that's the answer, but no, South Africans no more deserving than anybody else, but that's not the point. I did, Alan. I did get a message through to somebody who will get it to the right people. Yep, and yes, I did. The problem is I don't know the name of the people, so that's not helpful. So I know where they were headed, and I know they're supposed to have appointments today, so I did get word through and got confirmation that was passed on to the relevant folks. Exactly, Dirk. Funny how we keep saying we're fighters and hard workers, and then some immediately complain about struggling for a few weeks or months after being offered a new life. Exactly. I mean, I don't want to be harsh, but I mean, honestly, Look, I mean, there's a certain right of center commentator in South Africa who said basically his words, the gist of it, not his exact words, but the gist of it, only useless, toothless, lazy, unemployable Afrikaners will go to America. And some people are doing their damnedest to prove that to be true. Yep. Yep. Good morning, Amazing Yacht Destination. It's good to see you again. Ah, yes, that's the basis. Certainly Africa has numerous genocides at once. Wow. Okay, stop. Kentucky Maritime guy. The basis for refugee status has nothing to do with genocide. That's bullshit. That's claptrap. Stop falling for it. Stop listening to media. Stop listening to Trump's public statements when he answers media. It has nothing to do with that. The people being granted refugee status from South Africa is not because of a genocide. It's not because of a genocide. That's fake news. It's because of unjust racial persecution. That's what it's about. Unjust racial persecution. That's the basis for it. So, you have to tell me other countries where people were suffering from unjust racial persecution before you can make that comparison. It's not about genocide. Nope. Yeah, what about Sudan? What about it? Darfur, South Sudan. What's your point? I'm not trying to be combative with you, maritime guy. What's your point? What is your point? Those people aren't being brought here because of genocide. They're being brought here because of conflict. Yep. So people in South Africa did it because of unjust persecution. If you're homosexual in Syria, you could be granted refugee status because of that, so they don't kill you and drop you off a roof. There are different reasons for it. I've covered this endlessly for the past 10 months in videos, on live broadcasts, and in public speaking engagements. It is not because of genocide. That's a red herring. All right, so you guys got me way off track what I was trying to do here, so it's fine. So Australia announces strict new gun laws. Right on cue, the leftists come out with new gun laws. Yeah. Yep. At least 15 people killed on the beach, but now Prime Minister Anthony Albanese described the shooting as terrorist incident, and they want to take away your guns. The origin of Australia's notoriously strict gun laws date back to 1996 when a gunman killed 35 people in Tasmania. The April 28th shooting came to be known as the Port Arthur Massacre. And almost immediately, the bloodshed prompted Australia's political leaders to unite behind an effort to tighten the country's gun laws. Yep, it was led by Conservative Prime Minister John Coward. Remember John Coward? I remember him. He criticized Bush. John Coward. The result was the National Firearms Agreement. Yep. The result in the surrender of more than 650,000 guns. Yep. And now these people have no gun culture. They don't know how to handle firearms. This is what they want to do, renegotiate the firearms agreement, which enacted, speed up the establishment of the firearms registry so they can find your guns and take them from you, use more criminal intelligence in the firearms licensing process. In other words, allegations. Oh, it's just like the red flag laws, the bullshit here. Oh, my neighbor is unstable. Well, they take his gun away. Yep. You limit the number of guns one person can own. Well, I have 40 guns. You're going to take my 40 guns away from me? Good luck with that. Good luck with that. Only Australian citizens can hold a firearm license. Oh, really? Only Australian citizens. Introduce further customs restrictions on guns and related equipment. And that will solve the problem. Nope. Letting these jihadists in your country is the problem. It took us 19 years to get the USA to the USA. Our kids aged out. Now we have to get them out via the program, hopefully. Yeah, no, you're right, Joel. So people complain about it. I mean, it's people. They don't have perspective. They really don't have perspective. Kentucky says, I don't think we're risking too much, sir. Sorry, I just don't understand geopolitics. No. Kentucky Maritime. That's why I said I'm not trying to be combative with you. I appreciate you being here. Where are you here from? Did you come over from John B. Wells, Caravan of Midnight? I just don't understand geopolitics. Not even went to South Africa's young ensign. Oh, in the Coast Guard. People were kind of douche. Well, yeah, the South African Navy has a lot of douchebags these days, depending on when you went over. Yeah. No, how many women four-trekkers were at the Battle of Blood River? Garrett, I don't know how many women were there, but there were women there. There are a lot of women at Blaukrans and Wienen who fought. Johannes Schreidem being one of them. Stabbed multiple times to Assegais and survived and killed many a Zulu warrior. No, Rudolph Skeppers. I think that he's up here. I think Kentucky Maritime guy is unfamiliar with South Africans. He is familiar with people invading his neighborhood who come from places that are broken, and he doesn't know about South Africa, so he probably is wondering or assuming, and fair enough. I mean, let me ask, how many of you can tell me about Peoria, Illinois? How many of you can tell me about Carlisle, Pennsylvania? Who can tell me about that, okay? All right, so that's probably where Kentucky Maritime guy is coming from, okay? Now I understand why he's Kentucky Maritime guy, because he was in the Coast Guard. Thank you for your service as a coastie. Yep, Semper Paratus. Semper Paratus. Okay, criminals don't obey the law. That is correct, Private. Yep, ability to not protect yourself is a frightening thought. Yeah, it is. I don't need gun. Fear lives in my house, and she has a name. Ratio of farmers to size the ratio of all others in the DA. When a murder happens, it should be taken into consideration. Okay. Yes, it is a geloofde. So, Maritime Kentucky guy, you still there? Still there? Okay. Yep. So, all right. Yep. It didn't come from another channel I've commented here before. I don't think I recognize your username. Sorry. No, I thought maybe you found another channel. So thank you for sharing that. Again, so what makes South Africans more special than anyone else, refugees? Nothing. But it's not genocide. That's not the reason. That's all propaganda. That's all hyperbole. The reason, and it's listed clearly on the U.S. Embassy website, Zulu Alpha, ZA, ZA.usembassy.gov. And it'll tell you right there. That was okay. Hold on. That was a number of trekboers. Someone said trekboer women. I don't know how many women were at the Battle Blood River. I don't know that answer. That question was how many women. Yep. I meant DA, not DA, huh? Friedenberg, what's going on there, Beverly Matthews? Yep. All right, so let's talk about what today is. Not for Americans because it's still the 15th. We still got another hour before it becomes the 16th here on the East Coast. Kentucky guy, I think he's still in the Eastern time zone. Yep, because he's under Ohio. Let me just talk about geloofde. So, in 1838, on December 16th, 1838, a party of trekboers led by Andres Pretorius and others were itching for a fight, and what I would call a meeting engagement. That's a military term. So the Zulus were looking for a fight with the trekboers. Now this is after the slaughter of Pete Retief and his party, the cowardly, dastardly actions of Dingani and his warriors, grabbing the white wizards and slaughtering them one by one, and watching Retief watch his son killed in front of him. Then he sent his impis, his warriors, an impis, a regiment, out to attack the wagon trains and the rest camps of the families of those people and others. And there were lots of women and children and elderly at Wienen and Blaukrans, and they descended upon them and attacked them without warning. I think there was a little bit of warning at maybe Wienen or Blaukrans. One of them got a little bit of warning, but they went out there and they went and they slaughtered these people. But these people fought back and pushed them back, and many survived, but a lot were wiped out. So the town Wienen, which means weeping, if I'm not mistaken from Afrikaans, is named after what happened there. So that happened, and then another party of trekboers, which was a total of 464, went looking for the Zulu as they were moving in. It was an armed party. It was a reconnaissance in force, which became a meeting engagement. A meeting engagement is when two armies are on the move, and they both seek a battle, and they meet and have an engagement. That's a meeting engagement. So essentially, Battle of Blood River was a meeting engagement. On the Nkombe River, which is located in today's KwaZulu-Natal, the trekboers took their wagons and formed a lager, a circle. And inside there, they had a couple of cannons. They weren't particularly effective, but they had them. Small, short-range cannons. They put it up, buttressed it up next to a creek bank. They say riverbank, but it's more like a creek. I've been in Nkombe. And the Zulu tried to take them out. Their tactics were not particularly sound. And the men would sit there and fire, and women would reload and hand them another weapon. Reload, hand another, reload, hand them. And bring them powder and water to cool the barrels of the weapons. And they fought. And they killed something like 8,000 to 10,000 Zulu that day. Before the battle, the leaders got together and they made a vow. They made a vow to God, if God would help them defeat their enemy, that they would honor God every year on this day. And they would build a church in his honor. Well, They did. They utterly destroyed the Zulu at the Battle of Blood River. And today there's a monument there, a Zulu monument on one side of the river and a Trek Boer monument on the other side. And it's privately owned by the Fort Trekker monument. I said Dingani. Did I not, Del Marie? I said Dingani. Well, see, Jules, that goes in line with what I just said. So I said, I don't know if there were women there because, like I said, it was a raiding force. Yep. If I remember correctly, if you have over 12 firearms, you must have to walk in safe and must be guarded. Thankfully, I chose not to carry when working. Ita Queenie, okay. 3 cannons, yep. Okay. Here's to my Umas, who survived the concentration camps. Okay, time to take hectic meds. Okay. There are no women at the Fort Trekker commander that day. Okay, exactly. 464 men led by, I said Andres Pretorius. Why you guys keep saying the same things I'm saying? It was flooding too from the previous day. And well, I didn't get there yet, Charles. I didn't get there yet. So the Zulu tried to outflank. They tried to outflank this encampment, which is buttressed up against the bank of the creek. And the water was moving very high. It was very high and was flowing very fast. And a lot of Zulu, hundreds of Zulu drowned there. They tried to come in from behind. It went very badly for them. Yes, Del Marie says, yes, you did. Day of the Vow seems like such a cool holiday, given this story. Probably not a holiday anymore. No, Faithful Farmer, it is no longer called Geloftedag, the Day of the Vow. It's now called Reconciliation Day. The ANC changed it to Reconciliation Day. I did say when we were at the Wiener Massacre, and I talked about Johannes Strijdom. Did I not? Did I not? Ons for jou, South Africa. Okay. We for you. Okay. The battle is called Blood River because so many Zulu died, so much blood was spilled that the river turned red from blood. And so it was called Blood River after that. But the river, its creek is actually in Kome. Bucky says, work through the night. It's okay. I'm just saying, I already said that. So for my American audience, that's Kentucky Maritime Guy, and for Faithful Farmer, that's what this is all about. It was an incredible thing. Let me look it up here online. So, and the numbers are given often downplayed by Battle of Blood River occurred 16 December 1838, where the Fort Trekker settler Boers, led by Andres Pretorius, decisively defeated a much larger Zulu army, actually 18 to 20,000 under King Dingani, using a wagon, fort, or lager, and firearms against traditional spears and shields. This pivotal battle resulted in heavy Zulu casualties, over 3,000 killed, some say 8 to 10,000, and few Boer losses. It became a cornerstone of Afrikaner identity, linked to the Great Trek and commemorated annually as the Day of the Vow. Yep. It was estimated 10 to 30,000 Zulu warriors. It was more than 10,000 for sure. About 470 men led, and someone said 464. Yep. The Zulu MPs launched several brave but ultimately unsuccessful charges against the defenses. They formed their ox wagons into a strong circular defensive formation. In fact, let me find that. Here, I've got that on my channel. Why am I sitting here doing this? I could just, I got a video on my channel. Silly boy, silly boy. Okay, let me just go to my channel, Blood River. There we go. Geloftedag. Okay. Battle of Blood River. Okay, cool. Hello, folks. This is Chris in KwaZulu-Natal in South Africa at the site of a momentous battle that took place here on the 16th of December, 1838. As the Fort Trekkers, a group of the descendants of the original European settlers in the Western Cape, the Dutch, the French Huguenots, and the Germans who came later, along with some others, migrated up away from what was then the Cape Colony into the Orange Free State, over the Drakensberg Mountains, down here into KwaZulu-Natal, where they ran into conflict with the Zulu who happened to occupy this area. After a number of events that took place, which takes a little getting into, we're not going to cover that here right now, King Dingani had sent his troops out to meet a Fort Trekker army that had assembled here. They came here in the Kombe River, subsequently known as Blood River, as a consequence of this battle. 464 Trek Boers fought at least 16,000 Zulu. Both sides entered this battle well aware of what was at stake and what was going on. The Trek Boers, believing that they were the vanguard of Christianity and representatives of God, made a pact, a covenant with God, that if he would give them a great victory against the Zulu in retribution for what had happened to Pete Retief and others, and Venan, if he would give them a great victory, they would take a vow and they would build a church in his honor, and they would celebrate that day as a day of Thanksgiving each and every year. So they took this vow, and building up to the date of the battle. And on the 16th of December, Zulu met here at Nkombe River, which became known as Blood River, as 464 Boers formed a lager with a circle of wagons. Yes, it's Zulu. Distance there. That's a life-size replica of the actual oxen-driven wagons that the Trek Boer were using. They circled their wagons, the cattle inside, and they put defensive positions all around, and they fought off the Zulu and won an epic battle here. As many as 10,000 Zulu may have perished here. Numbers are unclear. So many Zulu died that they fell into the river, and it was known as the Blood River because there was so much blood there from the casualties. This site is not a political site. I don't know how people want to view it that way, but a site where both Zulu and Afrikaners can look back and reflect on their history. And in fact, there's a bridge of reconciliation behind the camera just down here from the Zulu Museum on that side of the river to the monument that's set up over here by the National Party or private individuals later on. So there you go, folks. 16th December 1838, an epic battle in the history of South Africa, one which many people seem to have forgotten about or choose not to pay much attention to these days. But it was a crucible in the forming of the Afrikaner identity and also a key event in the history of the Zulu Empire. Thanks for watching, folks. So that's a video I made a couple years ago, folks. Yes, the mic. I know. I got it. I was busy. I got it. Relax. So that's a video I made a couple years ago. It has all of 1,600 views. It's sad, really sad. That's a pretty good video. Great history, great summary of what happened there. The only problem is I didn't have a better microphone, so the wind was kind of difficult. Yep. Yeah, so check it out. Yeah, that's Geloftedag. I was actually at the site of the Battle of Blood River. So, yep. Anyway, let me see if I can't find Blood River. Okay. And this one here, I don't know if, so let me see what I did of this one. That's not what I want. It's not doing what I want it to. There we go. Date etched in the history of South Africans. Geloftedag, the day of the vow, the covenant, Dingani's day, reconciliation day. December 16th has long been etched in the collective memory of South Africans. As we travel further and further along and the sands of time slip through the hourglass, far too many South Africans of all races and creeds lose touch with their history and their heritage. December 16th becomes a day off from work, an occasion for a braai, or relaxing, and less about what South Africa was, what it is, and what it will become. The agonizing loss of identity that comes with emigration has already dawned on those who departed South Africa over the past 3 decades. But the loss and sense of history, sadly, goes much deeper. Inside Africa, Mzansi, South Africans are losing touch of who they are, in large measure owing to the largely uncontested whitewashing of history by an increasingly black supremacy-oriented voting bloc of the ANC and the Progressive Alliance of MK, EFF, and even ATM, among others. Political parties not interested in peaceful coexistence, but rather in domination and retribution for perceived past injustices. The General Synod of the Afrikaners Natal Church has chose 16 December as an ecclesiastical day of thanksgiving by all its congregations in 1864. Later, in 1894, Dingani's Day was declared a public holiday by the government of the Orange Free State. Declared a public holiday in 1910 after the establishment of the Union of South Africa, the event that was marked was the Battle of Nkombe, or Blood River, as the Voortrekkers called it after their triumph. For the Boers, according to historian John Laband, previous guest on my program, their great God-given victory affirmed their right to rule over the heathen Zulu, just as God had delivered the Canaanites into the hands of the children of Israel. The Covenant and Blood River duly became cornerstones of Afrikaner nationalism. Although it was known officially either as the Day of the Vow or the Day of the Covenant, December 16th was popularly known as Dingani's Day, invoking the name of the second Zulu king, Dingani ka Senzekakona, against whom the Voortrekkers fought at Nkombe, or Blood River. The battle pitted the Zulu army under the joint command of Ndela ka Sampisi and Zobo ka Sabadli against the Voortrekker commando under the leadership of Andries Pretorius. Just a week before the decisive battle, Pretorius' party made a vow to God that should they win against the Zulu army, they and their descendants would observe the day of victory as a religious holiday and build a church in commemoration. Their wish was fulfilled when they defeated the Zulu army at Blood River on the 16th of December, 1838. On that day, an estimated 20,000 Zulu warriors led by Dingani's generals Dambuzo Nzobo and Ndela ka Sampisi attacked about 470 Voortrekkers at dawn. With the advantage of gunpowder, Zulu warriors were repelled with an estimated 3,000 to 10,000 warriors killed. The blood of the casualties flowed into the Nkombe River, turning its water red, earning it the nickname Blood River. The confrontation between Voortrekkers and Zulu regiments became known as the Battle of Blood River. December 16th remained a rallying point for the development of Afrikaner nationalism, culture, and identity. However, with the advent of apartheid, in 1952, the day was changed to Day of Covenant. After the first democratic elections in 1994, December 16th continued to form part of the history of post-apartheid South Africa. On December 16, 1995, the name was changed once more and was celebrated as a public holiday known as the Day of Reconciliation. The establishment of December 16th as a public holiday was an attempt to strike a balance between a divided past and promoting national unity and reconciliation in a new political dispensation. In the 1910s and 1920s, Selope Themba, the second Secretary General of the African National Congress, published numerous articles challenging the portrayal of Dingani as a backward brute who senselessly ordered the assassination of Piet Retief and his party. While not denying that Dingani ordered the killing of Retief, Themba argued that he was no different from European empire builders who had also killed people in pursuit of their political projects. Whataboutism. Nothing more. There's zero doubt as to the historical or homicidal nature of either Dingani or the brother whom he murdered, Shaka. What others did or did not do does not obviate their foul deeds. It does, however, deserve context. Yes, in the historical context, Dingani and Shaka are far from the only bloodthirsty despots, and yes, some of them have been white. But both Shaka and Dingani were particularly nasty tyrants who deserve their reputation as murderous, duplicitous thugs. Dingani's day took a particular political significance in the liberation struggle for black South Africans. It was an opportunity to protest white supremacy and domination. Now, the date has been romanticized not only by the ruling Afrikaner minority under apartheid, but also by the African National Congress, which chose the date to found its armed struggle. Umkhonto we Sizwe was established on December 16, 1961. That was no accident. That was intentional. In his autobiography, The Long Walk to Freedom, Nelson Mandela wrote the following: Afrikaners celebrated December 16th as a traveling in time. That was from last year. Yep, that one has 1,100 views. So I spent an hour recording that. So, yep. Anyway, forefather on both my mother's sides were both early 1650s Voortrekkers family involved in Voortrekkers. Okay, cool. That's cool, Del Marie. All right, so where are we at here? Cool beans. All right. Morning from Benoni. Please check interview with Ray Hadley, a veteran reporter from Australia. Okay. We'll go like and share your videos. Was not aware of them. Oh, yeah, Befolka. I mean, see, that's the thing. I've done 5,000 plus 6,000 videos. Yeah. You want the link for that one? Sure. Absolutely. Here you go. Go watch it after this is over and drive up my views on that. It'll suddenly get some attraction. Put some comments on the video. Yeah, that's so that's geloof te daan. Yeah, I put a lot of time into that. I should have published an article on that, but I wrote that script and prepared. I put a lot of time and effort into that. So, yeah. I mean, This is quite an intense video. Disgusting, hideous-looking bodies in skimpy bikinis and bathing shorts and go like beached whales out to the shore. Disgusting sight. Or for barbecues, since we don't do braais. Toilet paper of record. We are going in. Malema awaits DA's GNU exit to join. Not a single thing about Geloofde. Anyway, that was a special broadcast just on that. And I started out with that opening monologue, which went for quite a while. I probably should download that. In fact, let me do that. Yeah. I'll download that. And then I will upload that just for Geloofde. Yep. There you go. Yes, Dwayne Verstaden, you are late to the game. We are talking about the Day of the Vow. That's correct. So, in fact, the Zulu casualties are estimated anywhere between 3 and 10,000. Confirms not a lot of what happened that day were 100% documented. Yes, correct. Boers legally bought land in KwaZulu, but as I understand it, when the British took over Natal, many Boers left KZN, but the land they bought from the Zulu is well documented. Yes, the English also bought land from the Zulu. Yep. It's not untrue. It's a statement of fact. Yep. Yeah, thank you, Boca Bafoki. Yeah, no, I've done tons of stuff. Yep. On South Africa. Let me see. I don't want to go off the reserve here and get all theological, but what we see now, what is poor Israelites suffered. Big G was enslaved. Just a thought. That's a fair point. Okay, that video is downloaded. Is it downloaded? Okay, let me see. The second Secretary General of the... Okay, good. So I will download that and upload it as a classic Wyatt video. 100 for likes on my comment your blood review. Come on, people, follow. Okay, there you go. Okay. Yeah, help drive that video. Yep. But I will make a new video for this year from that. My grandmother's born on Geloofde, would have been her birthday today. Oh, wow. Okay. I have to go. Need to get ready for Geloofde. Okay. Thank you for all your effort and support, Colonel. You're very welcome, Deanie Dre. It's my pleasure. Yeah, the snowman won't fit, though. I have to stand him up on the table here. I could try that, I suppose. But you won't see his head. I think it'll be over the top. I could try it. I think he's too tall, and then you won't be able to see him because I have this shelf back here now. So that wasn't there last year. So that's why I haven't put him up. I got the snowman out. He's sitting in the other room. Yep. The reason Europe is so gay is because most of the cool ones left to build better lives in the colonies. Oh, it might be true. It might be true. Anyway, it's funny.
I'm all out of drink.
I'm all out of love. I'm so lost without you. Air Supply. I'm all out of love. I'm so lost without you. Yeah, the snowman is awesome, man. Hey, Garrett, what's going on? Do Adta Kanaba? Okay. Alrighty. So we did the stream earlier, which was an hour, and now it's another hour here. It's 11:30. So I think I'm going to wrap it up here after just an hour tonight. Okay, guys? Okay. Arctic will send money for whiskey. I think my Arctic is tapped out, man. I cleaned him out with the Starbucks. By the way, it's been the 30 days plus the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 11 days. That's 41 days, folks, without the Starbucks. 41 days. Yeah, called Dingani's Day. Yep. Yep. You're all out of wine. I'm all out of wine. I'm so lost without it. Jack Daniels, Lynchburg, still a dry county. As far as I know, Andrew. As far as I know it is, but they make it there. As far as I know. All right, that's going to do it, folks. I'm going to go ahead and mess with that video and make a tribute to everyone. So are you heading for 50 days? No, Candida, I wasn't going for anything. I just Arctic seemed apoplectic when I bought 6 cases of Starbucks, but they were on sale. They were $5 off a case. I mean, that's 25% savings. So I won't be getting sleep yet, Xavier. I've got to put that video up for Geloofde and see how many views. I've got 100,000 subscribers. When I put that video up last year, I had 15,000 or 17,000, 18,000. So let's see if we get more views, okay? All right, so I'm going to put a thing I'm going to add in front of it and the thing after it. So Myra Prinsloo. I'm always thinking of Sandra Prinsloo when I see that. Okay. Thanks, guys. Be well. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you later. Don't forget, program announcement. Byron Shepard will be on the program. We're going to talk about the Bondi Beach and the globalization intifada, okay? All right? We'll see you at 5 p.m. South Africa time, all right? So tune in. Thank you for being here. It is still Monday, right? Yeah, no, it's Monday. It'll be Tuesday here shortly. Christmas is Thursday of next week. It's just around the corner, folks. Just around the corner. Can you imagine that? All right, that's going to do it. Thanks. All right. God bless and be well.